Today on Triggering Truths, we will be talking about links. In life, we must grow. We're like flowers, we blossom, we are watered. But the most important thing that you can do is water yourself. Every petal is like a link, like your keychain. You have different links. Some may not serve you anymore, so you have to disconnect, break the bondage, break the chains. Today on Triggering Truths, we are here with Ladrea, aka I Just Be Talking. We're gonna break down some of the traumas of the now, the then, and the past. In order to grow, we must first identify self. We must think with our heads and stop thinking with our hearts. Because when we think with our hearts, we stay in the same cycles of pain, toxicity, bondage, overcompensating. When we think with our heads, we think with logic and reasoning. We start to break those chains. We start to disconnect and detach from things that no longer serve us. So here today on Triggering Truths, in our third episode with our first guest, we are going to break some chains. Peace. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace, love, light, healing to all my people. We love you.
I'm Drea, also known as I Just Be Talking. So today we're going to be talking about the links in my chain, the links in your chain, the links in Bree chain. But what I mean by links is the things that are connected to us. So I am my own individual link. I got kids, 3 of them, so that's 3 links. My family adds another link. Anybody I'm attached to adds a link. So today we're going to break down those links and the effects that they have on us as a being, how we're going to let them go, the links we need to hold on to, and yeah, that's how we're going to take that. So in order to really realize what's attached to you, what needs to be let go, what you need to hold on to, and the things that we're holding on to, how they even were there, you have to find the peace and the balance and the mental capacity to deal and break down yourself. Now, if you haven't tapped into your journey of finding who you truly are, this might help you do that. I know as I sat there and started really analyzing who I was and how I became who I was and the way that I move and view different things in the world, it was a trigger for me. It was a trigger, and that's how I came up with this topic, because I sat there and I was breaking down different pieces of my life that I had to really analyze and look at with some of my friends, and it started making them think about the links in their chains and who they are and how they became who they are. So the self-link is the most important, because you're not going to realize what you need to do, who you need to remove, or any of that until you really realize who you are. Because somebody that you think you might be now might not be who you really supposed to be. And when you start to break these things down and move along on your journey to finding who you truly are, your links might change. Like some might need to be removed that you thought you needed to hold on to.
With my journey, and I think that is probably the most important part of the journey, and I talked about it on my first episode, is in order to find, in order to be who I want to be, I have to find myself. And I think in the world today, people have a problem with validation from others. So, I'm not the biggest drinker. Like, did I, at some point in my life, did I like to party? Yeah, but I don't really drink. And I've seen sometimes I'm going out with my friends and, they want you to be who they are. Everybody wants you to be who they are, who they want you to be. And they don't leave space or the boundaries for you to be who you are. So it's like, I had to tell myself at some point, I'm I'm not gonna be coming around y'all drinking and partying all the time. Like if we have a friendship, I want to be able to call you, talk to you, what's up, how you doing, such and such and such. Not every time it's a function. Now you hitting me. Um, so in order to like be who I truly wanted to be, because I felt myself like not even looking for validation, but kind of conforming to my environment, which wasn't me anymore. I outgrew my environment. Um, so I had to find myself, right? So I think COVID probably was the greatest thing that happened for me. I know for some people they went through their situations, and I don't want to downplay nobody's situation, but I think it allowed people to sit down and say, "Let me pour into me." Because I was the type of person, I'm outside every time I'm somewhere. I can't be nowhere by myself, and somebody got to come with me. Now I'm in freaking solitary confinement, but I love it. I love being like just by myself in peace, not worrying about other people. And I think that's what people have a problem with is people are like, if you look on the internet, people are always looking for validation. Like, oh, I'm not going to post this because I don't know how many likes it got, or oh, I didn't get the likes that I wanted. Let me take this down. Why are you worried about other people? Then when you have that conversation with people, it's hard for them to understand that they haven't done the self work. Because once you do the self work with other people, think about you. It doesn't matter. The outside world doesn't matter. When you find peace within self, you'll find peace within the world. There's a lot going on in the world. To me, everything that is going on in the world, yes, it's a tragedy. Some of these things are a tragedy, and I look for ways to improve it. So a lot of people, when I'm talking to people, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it." Like a lot of people run away from the truth because it's triggering. So they'd rather be in this lost state of mind instead of just once you find yourself, you're like, I'm here. Nothing can bring me here. It don't matter what's going on in the world. Yeah, it's a tragedy, but I have to see the world for what it is.
Yep, that's true. That's true. And yeah, this topic is one of them ones that is very triggering because I've attempted to have this conversation with some people that probably have not started their journey. And unfortunately, those are just some people that I can't relate to anymore. It became a thing that was bothering them. I don't understand it sometimes because I'm like, if I'm sitting here pouring into you, I'm not telling you about yourself. I'm just pouring some of my knowledge into you, some of the things that I did to get my journey started, some of the things I removed from my life to open up my own eyes so I could really start to see who I am. And it's like, because you haven't done it, you're mad about it. But why are you mad about it? This is free game. I'm trying to put you on, put you on for real, because it's a different side. It really is. It's a different side. I can look at myself now here in November 2023 versus 3 years ago, and my mental was gone, and I thought I was something in, and I'm like, what? But as I sat there and really opened up my eyes to different things and just broke it down, because I started to question some of my actions, and I started to question some of the reasons why I am the way I am, or certain things trigger me. Like, I'm like, why is this happening? So I sat there and I broke down what caused me to feel this way. And those are the things that I realized that I had to start to heal and start to really analyze them and why they made me who I am, and how can I move forward from that instead of allowing that trigger to sit there and stop and pause me from elevating in other areas. So, when it comes to breaking down the different links and how they made you who you are, I think when you start to take that initiative, that's going to help you on your self journey. It's going to help you discover who you are. It's going to help you discover who you want to be, who you're supposed to be. Because a lot of the times we can think that we're supposed to be doing something, and that has nothing to do with the real story of us or what our purpose is. So, yeah, as you were saying, like removing yourself from all of the things that wasn't serving you, because partying wasn't serving you, being in groups of people wasn't serving you. You start to do those things when you become aware of who you are, and when you really start to embrace your journey, you're able to remove those things freely without them really affecting who you are, because you realize that that part of you is no longer a part of your purpose.
So going back to what you said, I think about people, it triggering people, right? Even sometimes your presence and your elevation is going to trigger people. And what I realized is almost kind of like you said, you have certain conversations with people and they realize that they're not growing. So it's triggering them, right? And the growth, like when I stopped drinking, like, and I never was a big drinker, but when I stopped drinking, people would be like kind of irritated. Why is the presence of me not drinking irritating you? Why is me not wanting to listen to Sexy Red irritating you? And why are you okay with the state of mindset that you have? Like, I can sit here and talk about, post health stuff, post whatever I'm posting, or talk about this stuff. And that's on my journey. That's the stuff that I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, did you see what happened on the internet with such and such? Why do I care what happened on the internet with such and such? And it bothers people because they see that where you're at is where they're not. And maybe they don't want to be there. Maybe like how you said, like sometimes you don't see where you're at. So on my journey, I'm trying to get people, and I'm trying to be the person that I want to see. All right. So if I'm going to be here, I have to walk like that. I can't be talking on the internet like I'm this high and mighty person and then be out in the streets doing the things that I used to do. I'm trying to lead by example. And that's why I talk the way that I talk. And people have a problem because they're just not there. They're just not there. And I don't know what it's going to take. And some people, like you said, some people don't realize that they're not there. Mm-hmm. So that's why I walk in the path that I walk, so that I can get people to understand, okay, damn, she's made a drastic change. Mm-hmm. Some people might think that it's crazy. Some people might not think that it's crazy. But I'm walking like this because I also need to know what links I need to cut as far as friendships and relationships. And sometimes it's family. Like sometimes I'm talking to my family members and they don't want to hear it, especially the older generation. They don't want to hear what they don't want to hear. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's hard to, sometimes it's like you got to isolate yourself and like break those links. And it's hard because you have love for everybody. You have love for these people. And it's not that I don't love you. It's not that the love is diminishing. It's just the fact that in order to be who I am and walk in my faith and walk in, on my mission, on my journey, you do have to break those links, because all I see is self-destruction. People self-destructing, and I can't, because I love you so much, it hurts me to see the self-destruction. Mm-hmm. So I have to now separate myself from you. Mm-hmm. So just don't see my separation as I don't rock with you no more. I rock with y'all. I love y'all to death, but I do have to break that link, cut that tie. Mm-hmm. And because I'm trying to give you the room to elevate, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to help you in the elevation. And once I see, that's one thing with me, like I talk to people and I see where their mindsets are. I've always been, like, for the longest time, an observer in the room. So I'm always observing the surroundings. So, and as I grow and in these situations where I'm trying to help people, I try to see where they are. Okay. And some people be like, you got to meet people where they are. No, I don't have to meet you where you are. That's where the boundaries come in. See, when I meet you where you are, then I come from being up here to now bringing myself down here. And that's not the journey that I'm on. I'm trying to raise you up with me. Mm-hmm. So I listen when I'm having these conversations with people to see where they at. Like, do you want to grow? Because if you want to grow, then I'm going to give you some grace. Mm-hmm. But if you're not looking to grow, then I'll have to cut ties. And then hopefully at some point you do grow. And then, that connection that link can now be reconnected. But for the time being, we got to separate because we're just not on the same level.
A lot of times in your elevating, because I think as I said, like I started this journey about 3 years ago, but each year gets deeper for me. Like it wasn't easy to like really sit there and analyze myself and really sit there and see what I needed to change. Self-correcting is something that a lot of people can't do. So as I started along my journey, and for the people that are closest to me, like I made it known. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm working on. If you feel this type of way or whatever the case may be, like I got my own stuff going on right now. I need to heal me. I need to become a better version of me. And it was just crazy, and it's getting crazier, and seeing how many people are bothered by you becoming a better version of yourself. I don't understand that part. I don't understand it at all. Um, but the longer and the more work I put into me, it's opening my eyes to see who's really not rocking with me, like who's good in this transitioning period and who's not. Because that's really what it is. It's a transitioning period. It's transitioning from what you've become because of the world around you into who you want to become for the world around you. So it's a lot of backlash that comes from taking that leap and really putting in the work into yourself. So you definitely have to be ready for that when you do decide to embark on your journey, because everybody ain't gonna rock with you. Everybody ain't been rocking with you. You just ain't really seen it because you ain't took the time to really figure out who you are, to know who's good for you and who's not. So distinguishing what links are good for you and what links are not good for you is a part of that self journey too. This is where you're going to establish your boundaries. This is where you're going to put limitations on what you're going to tolerate and what you're going to put up with. This is where you really sit here and build what it is that you will allow into your world, because that's all boundaries are. It's what we allow into our world. And people don't realize that. Like, when I establish some type of boundary, it's because I don't want that. Like, that does not serve me. It's no reason for me to interact with these type of people or be in these type of situations, whatever that boundary is for you. So yeah, that's really important in your journey as well, is starting to set your boundaries and really analyzing what links are for you and what links you need to start letting go.
I think the first point really is to even get tapped into self is you have to disconnect with everything else. So then once you disconnect, I think that was probably the most important part. Once you disconnect from and you cut the links off that you need to connect, first you have to be aware. You have to be intentional and know that you have to cut those links. And now once you cut those links is then now when you can dive into self. So I think that's the next point is now what are the traumas within self? And I want to come back, I want to go back into relationships at a later point. But now, what for you, what were some things as far as self that you felt like once you disconnected from others, okay, I need to work on this, this, and this?
For me personally, um, I had a lot of anger. Like, I had a lot of anger. I used to hear it all the time. I used to hear people tell me I was mean all the time. But I'm like, I'm not mean. I'm just standoffish. Like, I really don't rock with a lot of people. Like, that's just how I am. So I felt like a lot of the time people were saying I was mean. It was because they were trying to be in my space, but I don't really want you in it. So that's just what it is. But then I started to realize, okay, I'm not necessarily mean, but I might be a little angry. So then my anger is portraying me to look like I'm mean because of the way that I'm carrying myself. But I had a lot of anger I had to really tap into and look at why I was so mad. Like, why am I so bothered in certain situations? Um, Now, for my childhood, I feel like I had a lot of things that went unnoticed in my childhood. So, I was adopted. I was adopted by my aunt, who was my mother. She was meant for me, and I was meant for her. But I was adopted by my aunt. My biological mother was a drug addict. My dad was a gangbanger. Like, I come from that. So being in that type of situation, and um, I already felt like I came into this world and people was gonna be doubting me from jump. Like, I wasn't supposed to be here. I came in here struggling. I'm a sickle cell trait carrier, like all that. It was really a struggle for me to be here. So, I felt like as I grew up in that and the people around me were aware that I was adopted, and this was within my family, because a lot of my anger came from family, and it's crazy because my family has no idea. Like, they're not going to know until they see this. But but they have no. It's good. Triggering truth. That's what it is, ain't it? So no, but a lot of anger came from that, because I felt like with my whole tie to being adopted that people started to treat me like I was an outcast, but I'm within my family. So that kind of made me quiet myself. Like, I've been quiet since I was little. So um, a lot of the things I went through, I didn't express at all. Like, I didn't feel safe to express it, and I know that that's like one of the things was like, okay, well, those are your parents. Why didn't you feel safe? I just didn't feel safe. Like, I felt like if people really knew what was going on within my world, one, you either not gonna believe me, or two, you ain't gonna know how to react to it, and it's gonna go unnoticed, or I'm gonna feel like you don't care because you don't know what to do about it. Understand. Yes. So I had to really sit there and tap into where my anger was coming from, dealing with different type of situations in my childhood, like just feeling lost for real. And then you feeling lost and you dealing with other stuff like abuse and molestation and all kind of stuff. Like, this is all a part of who I am. This is all part of what's making me so angry. So I'm looking at, how do I release this anger? Like, how do I get rid of this piece of me, because I don't want it. Like, that's not a piece that I want to keep. So I had to really sit there and look at different situations and start to tell myself, like, okay, this is something you need to heal from. So how are you going to heal from it? Then I have to sit there and tell myself, like, okay, I didn't necessarily go through those things because I deserved it. So I can't sit there and put that on me like, oh, that was supposed to happen to me. Because, people will sit there and say, your story's written. Everything that's going to happen in your life is supposed to happen. Like, okay, so if you're telling me that, and then I go through this, now I'm looking like, why do I deserve that? So I had to sit there and really analyze deeply into these situations and tell myself, like, okay, that's just a situation that I was put in. That's not something that I deserved. I don't have to hold on to that. I can let that go. I have to let that just be what it is. That situation can no longer affect who I am in this day, because why? Why am I allowing it to affect me? For what? I can't go change it. I can't do nothing about it. So I had to take each one of these situations and really just break it down and figure out how to heal from it. What steps do I need to take now in order to heal from that? Do I need therapy? Do I need to talk to somebody? Like, do I need to approach the people that did these situations, or whatever the case may be? So you really got to look at what it is that's bothering you and figure out how you're going to remove that bother from that situation. It's not going to be removed from you, obviously, but you can remove how it affects you, or how it is affecting who you're becoming and who you are.
So before we go into how you heal from those situations, do you think that you were finding ways to suppress those, or to, what's the word I'm looking for? To suppress what was going on, or to just not even think about what's going on? Like, some people, right? So some people, I don't know. Some people use relationships. Let's put that. Some people look for relationships to help them resolve everything that they've gone through. Like, some people go from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship. Some people are alcoholics. So do you think that, for you, do you think that you were finding, reasons to run from that, or didn't know what was going on?
So I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think I've ever really had like a coping mechanism because I feel like I was almost numb and blind to it until I really started to embark on this journey. Because this is this isn't some of the things I went through. Like, I see these people all the time, like their family. I see them all the time, but I never like reacted to it. I never like really sat and thought about what it was that I was going through and the things that were wrong until I started my journey. And I'm like, okay, all of that stuff, I shouldn't even be comfortable being around you for real.
Right.
Like, yeah, like I shouldn't even be comfortable. So I don't think I had like a real coping mechanism because I feel like I just mentally blacked it out.
Right.
Like, I didn't even know it was affecting who I was or how I was until I really dove into the situation in itself.
Okay. So I'll talk about, I guess, me then. So I've always been the person like high energy, like, and I never realized that I was such like a high energy person. I'm just being myself. I've always been able to talk to whoever, don't matter. Like the school shooter and the one that looks like a school shooter. I'm like, what's up, dude? How you doing? Because at the end of the day, if you come to shoot this mother up, please don't come for me. Let me know. All right. So I've always been that type of person. I went to school and it's been diverse my whole life. Like I went to Christian schools, private schools. I went to public schools in the hood. Then I went to public schools and Negroes thought they was hood. So I've always been able to like be a chameleon in every situation and be able to fit in every situation. It wasn't until I got older where I'm like around, now we're adults and, energy is such a word that everybody uses. They just throw it out there and I'm like, oh, you niggas think you have high energy. I have high energy. Oh, I'm so spiritual. Whatever. And I'm like, okay. So when I'm around people and they see that in me, I'm like, oh, wow. So, okay, this has been me. Every time somebody has, something going on, it's always been I've been the go-to person, and I've been okay with that. That's no problem, even to this day. But what I realize is now that's taken away from me, right? So I think that's the biggest thing that I realize is, damn. And I think like talking to my mom and just talking to people is just like, damn, okay, so when you gonna pour into you? At what point are you gonna separate and pour into you? Because it's like, damn, every time somebody wants you to jump, you jumping. But when you want them to jump,
where they at?
They know where to be found. So I think that for me, and then like I compartmentalize like a lot of stuff too. Like I've had, numerous situations going. I don't know if they might come out today. They might not come out today. I don't know. But it's many situations that have happened that people don't know about. And I had a conversation with my friend. Matter of fact, I guess it's going to come out right now. Yesterday, we was talking about, and I don't even like to gossip, but I was like, damn, Diddy out here tripping, huh? And then she started like, oh, the victim, and I don't do victims, and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is a crazy situation. I said, first of all, I've had my own experiences with, sexual assault. So for the fact that you are sitting here and you're just, you want to talk about the money, and that's the money is not about the money. I'm never one to even talk about money. It's about the actions. And so I think a lot of people have traumas that they compartmentalize because they don't want to be a victim. And then you pour into people, or you like talk to people. So this could be a part of like, damn, you need to cut links because you talk to people and then they tell you how they feel. And they don't even know your situation. Like adoption, that's another thing. I was adopted. So I don't tell nobody that. So I might cut this, I might not cut this. Right? But I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've had situations with my family members, and I don't look like, maybe I do. Maybe, all black people look alike. So yeah, maybe you do look like some of them niggas in your family. Maybe you don't. And I would say everybody did a good job of making me feel like, because it's family is, to me, is not blood. I know I got people in my family who I'll never have to speak to again. And I got people that's not my family, that's my family. So I don't look at family as a bloodline.
Yeah.
I feel like, first of all, if you know me, You're black, we family anyway. Shoot, we came from the same tribe. What are we even talking about?
Right.
Family, I mean, in those situations, and just like you said, like, people can't relate. So that's the biggest thing, is why people compartmentalize, to me, certain things, and they don't like want to talk about it. I think that's the problem in our community, is that we don't talk about certain things, but then we don't have people to talk about certain things about, because, like I said, I'm observant, so I watch and observe how people react to certain situations, and I'm like, oh, I could never tell you that.
Yeah.
I could never tell you that, but then that's a part of breaking that link as well. And it's people just, to me, are so out of touch with reality, and that's why, for me, when certain conversations come up, I don't really have too much of an opinion, because I don't know what somebody in the room may have experienced. And I think that's a part of just being, self-aware, and doing the self-work, and just knowing that I've had situations. And it's like, for me, and I don't think that everybody that has such a vast, a great opinion about, certain topics, I feel like they may have went through things as well. And maybe that's their way of,
They're coping.
Right. They're trying to, that makes them feel good. But I don't think it makes them feel good, because I think that they probably go home and think about it. And it's just like, you don't know what people go through. So don't be that person, because then you end up being that person who has to be taken off the link and removed. I'm saying we have to be a better people. I know the conversation is, not really surrounded by being a better people, but I think in order to be a part of the link and to grow with somebody, you do have to be a good person.
Yeah.
And I think
be the best version of yourself.
And to have boundaries. And people don't know boundaries. And when you tell them what your triggers are or what your boundaries are, some people still push at those boundaries. And it's like, do you not have any boundaries of your own? And I don't want to go tit for tat with you, because this is supposed to be a friendship, a relationship that's supposed to grow. At what point do you be like, I get you, I understand you, I hear you, I see you, etc. So I think, for me, it's been a journey, and everybody's had a journey, and it's about breaking down that journey. And sometimes you have to journal to be like, okay, on this journey, this happened today, this happened, this is how that made me feel. And that's a part of the self-healing.
Yeah, and then in doing that too, you'll really start to analyze like who it is that you have relationships with, and whether or not these people are a part of your chain, or if they're supposed to be a part of your chain, or if you're strictly trauma bonding with these people and the whole entire entity of your relationship is based off of your coping mechanism of establishing relationships around your trauma. So we do a lot of trauma bonding.
Yeah, a lot of, and I've done trauma bonding, but I don't think that people, like, the biggest thing to me with trauma bonding is, well, oh shoot, and you could tell when people need to understand that when they are trauma bonding, just like, and this is a triggering topic here, domestic violence, staying with somebody who's sexually abusing you, and people on the outside, they'll be like, well, why is this person even doing this, or why? It's not the why. Let's stop talking about, well, I'm not going to say it's not the why. Let's stop trying to dim the light of the victim. Right? Because at the end of the day, the person who's a victim and the suspect, to me, both have trauma. Because why are you doing this, and
why are you allowing it?
And why are you allowing it? Now let's get to the root of that. Let's not say, oh, because we're so big on saying, oh, and just acting like it didn't happen. Well, what happened in your life that trauma? What's that trauma? You have to get to the root of the trauma, and people get in relationships often, and it's trauma bonding. It's some people's version of a relationship is toxicity. People love toxic. Like, If it's not toxic, it's not worth it. I want my nigga to be choking me out with all of these bitches. I want to slap my nigga across his forehead every time he fuck up. He ain't home. I'm calling him 162 times. That's trauma.
You need some help.
You need some help. If you think that's your version of a healthy relationship, and if you do not want a healthy relationship, because some of y'all don't even want a healthy relationship, and you guys will vocalize. And one thing I do on the internet when I do get on the social media or the blogs and shit, I go straight to the comments. After I see this, I go straight to the comments because I'm throwing case studies on all you Negroes. What's wrong with you? And sometimes I'll hit y'all up in the comments. That's why I have to block the blog, because I don't want everybody I know like, damn, she always in the comments. Yeah, because I'm always in the comments trying to figure out what's wrong with black people and why y'all are trauma bonding with each other.
We need to heal.
Like, I have the worst trauma. I'm the number one victim in the world. Like, why do you want to be the number one victim in the world?
Right.
What have you not healed from? Why are you looking for others that have gone through the same trauma as you, and you're not looking to heal from that trauma? Why are you looking for people? Some of you guys are jumping from one relationship to another relationship, and it's the same thing. And it's like, and I have friends like, I want the hoodest nigga in the world. I don't want that. Basically, I don't want that nigga to come home at night because that nigga might be in a fucking casket somewhere. Instead of being with that person and saying, yo, we need to figure out what you got going on so that you can heal from that, so that the community can become a better community. And if you have kids, so that our kids can be raised in a better community, so that our kids are not going out in the world trauma bonding with people, but we like, my kids would never, but your kids are, because your kids are seeing what's going on at the house.
Yep. So, question for you. On your journey, did you feel like some of the people that you had to let go, did you feel like you were trauma bonding with them, or certain situations you were in your environment, did you feel like that was trauma bonding?
I realized that I would be getting in relationships, and like I say that because I compartmentalize all my trauma, so I don't really. And I've always been in a household that was. I think household is important. So I've always been in a household of two parents. They never really argue. Mm-hmm. So I've never really seen that. So for me, like, my version of a relationship is like peace. Mm-hmm. So I get with people, and their version of peace is not my version of peace. It's always wanting to argue and bicker and call my phone a whole bunch of damn times, and I'm at work. And I don't understand that. So to me, like, they're trauma bonding, and I'm allowing the trauma bonding to happen because I see this in the world. This is to me, this is the world. But I vocalize, hey, this is not how my household. This is not how I was raised. My parents have been together like 40 something plus years. So I don't understand what you got going on. And I think for me, I've always been what they call a Captain Save-A-Ho. Honestly, I've always seen people with trauma, and I'm like, I'm gonna help fix them. Right. But at some point, it became, in my last situation, like, yo, you got some stuff going on, baby. What's going on with you? And that's probably really why I got on my journey, because it's like, damn, you said I'm spiritual. And you're such a spiritual person, but I'm not seeing that. Yeah. I'm seeing somebody who needs to heal. Like, you can have all the crystals in the world, but if they're not really healing you internally, they don't mean nothing. They're just decorations. Yeah. You can post all the memes and all the quotes you want about, oh, I'm such a this person, but behind closed doors, it's not that. And I'm allowing you the grace to do that because I see that you need healing. But some people, like you said, they don't see that they need healing. Some people think, like, I'm just the best person in the world. I'm God's great gift to earth. And it's like, but you're not bringing out the best in others. Yeah. Because that was some of, like,
my, I won't say lowest points, but that was some of my, because I never let nobody really get me low. That was some of my worst like points in a relationship. And because this person was like, oh, I'm so spiritual, oh, this crystals, 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 they did make me see a new light in the world and did get me on my mission. And I think that's why that I was allowing the trauma bondings. I'm like, dang, you got me elevated. You do have me elevated, but at the same time, at what cost? I'm also losing my identity by allowing the drama. Because I don't like drama. It disgusts me. So yeah, even in friendships, like, you know, you have friends, and there's every time you talk to them, it's my nigga, my girl, my this, my that, my this, my that, the game, and this, and that, and this, and that. Like, you know, I've been in friendships where I'm like, damn, there's always some drama going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I might have something going on in my situation, so I'm talking to you about my situation, and that's trauma bonding. And then you tell me about your situation. My situation may be like, whatever. Your situation might be like, golly, really? Shit, I should have never said anything. So yeah, I mean, in many relationships, I think people trauma bond throughout the board.
Yeah, all the way around.
But you can also add links too. So I think that's important too. Like we talked about cutting links and, you know, separating ourselves, but now on our journey, who do we add to the link, or who have you added to the link? Like, what do you look for as far as, okay, you separated yourself. Now, adding new links, what do you look for in adding new links, and have you added new links?
I feel like I've added a couple of new links within my journey of removing them, but it's literally just a couple, probably like two. But it's because a lot of who I'm becoming, more of what it is that my purpose is, I feel like it's a lot of people that's not going to understand it. So, and it's a lot of people that already don't understand it. So I think once I'm really walking in my full purpose, I might add more links than what I'm adding now. Because right now, the links that I've added is just been pieces to aid in my healing for real. It's not been something that I feel like is gonna stay. It might just be here, you know, it might just be a part of me for now, and then I could possibly outgrow that situation once I'm walking in my full purpose, or whatever the case may be. It could easily be something that I needed now to aid me in walking in my purpose and be there a long time. Um, but I think as I become more aware of where it is I'm supposed to be going and what I'm supposed to be doing, then I might add more. But right now, I'm still in the process of removing for real. Removing because I feel like certain links, like I could take right off, you done, are we good? Right. And then it's other links where I'm like, I gotta really like work my way up and really pour into you slowly, because if I just give you what it is that I need to give you, you might not understand it. I'm trying to see if I need to hold on to you or if it's something that I just need to completely let go. But I think a lot of the times, even the things that we need to let go, I can't just cut completely because of the things that are attached to that link as well. So it takes time. It just depends on the situation for real. But I would say I definitely have limited adding more to myself for real. Just because I don't feel like I've fully cleanse what needs to be taken off. And I feel like once I do that, then the things and the people and situations and places I'm really supposed to be are going to be more clear for me. So I'll know exactly who to add versus, oh, let me add you thinking that you're good for me in this healing process. And then I'm really trauma bonding, like I'm adding more, you know.
Right.
So, nah, it ain't been too much adding for me. It's been really just diving into what's already on me and removing what can be removed in the time frame that I've been working through it. So, yeah. What about you?
I mean, I think it's important, like, just to veggie back off of it, that no link is going to be solidified. Like, no link And I mean, it may or it may not, but no link may not be there forever. I might grow, just like a chain. Like I might grow, I might need a bigger link. I might slim down, I might need you to cut some of the links. Like this chain started off as a piece, just a long, like I think it was like a yard, and then I had her cut the link. And then if I need some more, I'm gonna add some more. But for me, I think as far as cutting all the links, I mean, I damn near cut everybody. And it wasn't even like I was trying to cut everybody. I just was on my self journey. It was just about self. It wasn't about, oh, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. It was just about, man, I'm just chilling. I don't want to go outside. I'm just pouring into myself. The outside is crazy. The people crazy. So the additions to my links haven't even been people. I've met one. I just met 19 Keys. I mean, but I don't know him. That's not my boy or nothing. But through my journey, like Yaki Awaken, like these are people who have become additions, like family to me. And we have a spiritual connection. And some of the things that I've already thought on my process, they have basically put that stamp on it. Like certain things that on my journey, like just growing up, I'm like, damn, I think the world works like this, and they have proven to me like, damn, they think the same way that I have. So as I'm on my mission, I'm in a car, whatever, I put that on, and I'm like, damn, I feel connected to these people. As far as in the world, as far as like real connections, most of the people, I don't think I've added any new links, but I have gotten closer to people who I wasn't as close to just because I see that they're on their journey. I mean, a lot of people hit me up daily who just follow me or I just met. I met one dude at a Drew League game and he's like, yo, we don't know each other like that. We just, was at the Drew League game, but damn, you be spitting. Like, I appreciate you on your journey. A lot of people tap in with me, like, in the DMs, and like, I just appreciate, like, what you're doing, such and such and such. You've given me new perspective about so many things. Like, I just want to grow as well. And at first, it's like, damn, I thought about it, and I'm like, nobody want to see this. All they want to see is bullshit. And it's crazy that I have to think like, nobody want to see this. But I'm not looking for validation. I'm looking to heal my people. So the more I post and I see, and I be looking, I don't give a damn. I'm one of the people who be looking at me, looking at my story. And some people, they be looking at it all the time. And I'm like, and to me, it's like, if you looking, I'm not thinking that you hating. Mm-hmm. I'm not one of the, oh, you hating. I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking you looking because you feel what I'm saying. Because if you didn't feel it, because if I don't feel what people say, I ain't looking. I don't be feeling nothing none of y'all be posting, to be honest with you. So I don't go scroll on Instagram. So you might be one of those people, she don't never like my stuff. I like following. And I'm like, I don't look at nobody's stuff. And it's not intentional. It's just that y'all be posting bullshit. I don't want to see you drinking every week and crashing out. So, I removed, that's a link. Social media. I had to remove, that's a link. That's one of the biggest issues with the world, that people need to remove that link and use it for educational purposes. Y'all niggas be using Instagram. That's literally people's main source of, every time you see somebody, they on the phone. You feel me? And they talk about the internet, cutting the internet, and I think that's a link of the world that needs to be cut, maybe, not for an extended time, because then when we talk about extended time, then you talk about people's jobs being affected. And I don't want nobody's jobs to be affected, because you see, if you go outside, you see how people's jobs have been affected. Yes. I had a girl chasing me down the other day talking about, I'm going to kill you in my car. Like, yo, I don't want your job to be affected. But I do want your state of mindset to be affected so that you can remove the toxicity of the internet and these low frequencies and vibrations. And I've talked about this probably every episode and going to continue to talk about it so that you can remove that link and realize, damn, I don't need that. I need to separate that. I need to separate myself from that. And it's just being self-aware. Like, people don't have self-awareness. So for me, I haven't necessarily added new links besides, my mindset and the things that I engage in. Like TV, I don't watch. If I watch TV, if you go look at my playlist, I got Matrix, Avatar, Wakanda Forever, movies, Da Vinci Code, movies that help me elevate. I don't want to see Jigsaw 3. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see y'all. I see Jigsaw 3 every day I walk outside. I don't know if somebody gonna jump me and put me in that car and take me and fucking for a fucking
all the time.
You know what I mean? So no, I don't want to watch that shit. So I think links also are connected to the things that you consume.
Yes.
Like, what are you consuming? Do you need to remove the things that you consume and add some some new genres to your playlist? I think those are links that can briefly be discussed.
Yeah, we can talk about that for sure, because links aren't just people and situations.
Mm-hmm.
Links are definitely things that you have attached yourself to, addictions and different type of things that you can't live without. Like, a lot of people don't realize that they are full-blown addicts, for real. Whether you're addicted to social media, addicted to porn, addicted to drinking, addicted to smoking, addicted to cheating, addicted to all kind of things. Like, you guys are addicts, for real. You guys are addicts, and you don't even realize it. And then a lot of people don't realize that the things, when you're attached to somebody, everything that is a part of you is attached to them too. Unfortunately, like, everything that you own. Look, I brought my keys for a visual.
It's a transfer of energy.
I brought my keys for
That's why I don't get to hugging people. I don't get to touching y'all hands or nothing, because it's literally like when I'm training, I touch the kids and I'm shocking them. That's energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a transfer of energy. So if you had a bad day, a fucked up day, and I'm giving you a hug, yeah, my good energy might transition to you, but then your bad energy transfers to me.
Yeah.
So it's being intentional in every situation, like she said, like. And I don't, want to cut your wisdom because you got, display. But as far as addicts, like, yeah, you motherfuckers are addicts. Like, all you want to do is drink. All you want to do is smoke. All you want to do is this. And you guys you guys need to realize, I know a few people in their 20s still, but y'all niggas is in y'all late 20s, right? So y'all are becoming the uncles and aunties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of today. And remember, you talk about, that drunk ass uncle or that drunk ass auntie. My drunk ass auntie, that's you. Truly. And some of y'all don't realize, like, you used to look at, damn, don't talk to him, that's my drunk ass uncle. You're that auntie now. And it's triggering, it's going to be a triggering for you to hear that, but you need to hear that because that's the only way that you're going to grow as a person, to know, damn, I'm that person now. And now I'm somebody's role model.
Yeah.
And now these kids, and some of y'all, a lot of y'all, we have functions. You guys have family function. You have the family function, and there's kids watching you.
Yeah.
You're the example of today. And what type of example are you setting? And that's why you need to hear these things so that you can say, damn, self-reflect.
Yes.
So that you can grow as a person, so that you don't have to be cut from the link.
Yes. And
then you're going to be outside like the crackheads in a minute. Because all you do is drink and smoke. And then, fuck. The bullshit, what is that doing to your internal system?
Yeah.
You feel me? This is your temple.
Yeah.
Y'all protect celebrities all day on the internet, but don't protect yourself and your peace of mind. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Not even a little.
You were saying you brought your keys. I don't want to cut your wisdom. So
you're good. So I was trying to use my keys as a visual for when it comes to the links. Like, my car key is my link. So this is like the root. This is me. Okay, so everything else, I got my gas keys. That's another link. I got my shop keys. That's another link. My house keys. That's another link. So when we're looking at my keys, this is me. This is another person here. This is another person here. This is a situation here. This is an addiction here. Like, this is all of what I'm carrying. So how do I become a better person if I'm carrying all this extra weight.
Yeah, a lot of y'all be carrying a lot of baggage, and that just, I mean, the root of it is self. Like, honestly, it just goes back to
coming back.
That's the thing. It's gonna keep coming back to self, right? You can't blame others for your actions.
This is your change.
Right?
Put this shit on.
You are your responsibility. How do you feel like people think? Do they think with their heart or their head?
I think it depends on the situation. I think most people try to think with their heart. I feel like that might be the better thing in a lot of situations. But then some people really just strictly think with their head. Now you have to think, when you're thinking with your head is full of shit that you put in there. That's full of things that you consume, full of things that you've allowed within your world. So you could be thinking in a way that you're not even supposed to be thinking. Your heart is really going to tell you what it is that you're feeling about every situation. That's how I look at it. Like, if I put myself in a situation that, I told myself to be put in, and my heart is gonna tell me whether or not, like, I'm really supposed to be here or not. Because if it's a bad situation, I'm gonna feel it here before I really see it. So I feel like I think more so with my heart sometimes.
I'm gonna offer a different perspective, yeah. I think people are thinking too much with their heart.
You think so?
Yeah, because your heart chakra, that's your love, right? I got love for you, right? So sometimes you have so much love for people that you allow certain things to happen because you're thinking with your heart. But when you think with your head, to me, you think with more philosophy, more logic, more critical thinking when you think with your head. So I'm not, when I sit down, just like when you talked about trauma bonding, when I sit down and I think about it, if I think with my heart, I'm going to allow the cycle to continue because I love you. But when I think with my head, I'm like, that's when I start to get the paper out in the journal and I say, these are my triggers. These are my no's, my deal breakers, right? These are my yeses. This is what I look for. Now I'm thinking with my head, right? My heart may be slightly attached to it, but at the end of the day, when I put it down on paper or when I'm using my head to think about, I'm saying, no, absolutely, that's a no for me, dog. So for me, I think a lot of people are thinking with their heart, like they're emotionally attached to liquor. They're emotionally attached to porn or emotionally attached to people, emotionally attached to low vibrations and low frequencies, instead of saying, logically, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why do I keep engaging in certain activities and certain people, and why am I not thinking about myself? I think the heart is like your keys, like your chain. Like your heart is attached to many different things, right? So sometimes your heart is able to compartmentalize situations that should not be compartmentalized because that's just what the heart does. The heart is like, love, love, love. I love, everybody wants love. Everybody wants, but not enough people want self-love. It's like, when does the self-love come in? When do you say, I got to put myself first?
Thinking with your heart is going to halt your self journey.
Yeah.
It's going to halt your journey completely because you're worried about how everybody else is going to feel about you choosing you.
You're looking for validation. How many likes? Nobody likes my picture. Nobody's seen your picture. It's not even in the algorithm. It has nothing to do with you, sweetheart. Oh, nobody commented.
You're not on me
on my dress. Oh, nobody told me I look good today. Why? When you looked in the mirror, did you look good today? Well, damn it, you look good every day. How about that? How about Coach Bree, whoever, says you look good every day.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn who you are. If you my people, you look good every day. And once you think like that shit, some days I be like, she asked me earlier, how's your lock journey going? Some days I know I'm going through that ugly ass lock stage, right? I look in the mirror and I said, man, we rocking. This is your crown. This is your God body. And that's how you have to look at yourself like, man, I empower myself. Can't nobody empower me or take from my power. And if you take it from my power, then you got to go, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
But nobody should be able to, like, if they go back to self, nobody should be able to do that. Mm-hmm. The only person that can take from self is self.
Okay. But yeah, you definitely gotta stop looking for validation, girl. Because when I asked you about your lock journey at the beginning of the week, I had some locks, but my locks literally just they fell out. They fell out, and I was like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?"
They fell out. That's another. We'll talk about that. No,
but that comes down to protecting your crown for real, and the energy that was in those locks had to go. And even though I felt like, okay, yeah, I look good, like whatever, my crown was not feeling it, and I tried to switch some stuff up, and it was like, no, okay, I'm gonna make the bigger switch for you, and they're gonna go.
Your hands are linked too.
They're gonna go.
That's we got your crown chakra. That is a link, and all that is in your, every piece. Like when you have locks, I don't even say you have locks. And your regular hair, every strand of hair is a link. And some people cut their hair when they are detaching from a situation, and sometimes you do have to do that.
Detaching for me.
Yeah, I never heard that one before, so we gonna have to. I have heard of a lock falling out, but damn.
Well, I had extensions, but I think it was just more so the energy that was placed in my crown when I put the extensions in. It was time to go. I had to release it. So, yeah, the crown chakra. What? Yeah, that is the most important. The most important. That's why I named my business Ecstatic Crown Story.
And I think that's why. Also, I don't let like energies, like even though I don't want to detach myself from people, I have to, because Lord, this crown right here, I cannot allow like you said, like, because once you let them mess up the crown, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You got to cut it off and start off. And that's one reason why I didn't even get locks at first. I'm like, if I don't like it, I'm gonna have to cut them off. Then I'm definitely not having a fade. Y'all gonna think I'm pussy or something. I'm not doing that. Y'all not about to be out here misgendering me. So I can't be cutting my crown. So I had to make the commitment at some point, like, yo, all right, I'm ready for that journey, because I don't have any dead weight around me no more.
I feel it.
That's deep, y'all.
Yeah, really. Better think about what's in your life.
Y'all better think about, yeah. And who's touching your crown? Because some of y'all be just
can't do it.
Letting anybody touch you.
That's the main problem.
Some of y'all be letting anybody, and that's gonna be a conversation for another day. So I'm gonna really get into like having sexual experiences with people.
All them links y'all added.
All them links, because now you got to add their links. Like y'all talking about the girl had 85 bodies or something, and y'all was it 85 or 35? Let me not give her extra bodies, but it probably really was 85. It might have been 35, but then imagine those 35. Then you talk about a female. So then males, they do whatever they do. So as a female, you had 35 bodies, and then as those 35 bodies that you had, they probably was just one night stand, so they be just one night stand. They don't have no intentions behind who they be sleeping with. So now those 35 bodies have, maybe
35 each.
Yeah, I don't want to, say what men do, but let's just say they had 6 bodies each. I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot of different frequencies and energies going into your temple. And I don't like
exchange.
Right, and I don't like to judge nobody, so I'm not judging nobody. I'm just giving y'all new perspective. That's it. Shit's crazy.
Okay, so within your own chain, your original chain, before you started your journey, do you feel like you had more things attached to you that were negatively affecting you versus positively affecting
I never really thought about it, to be honest with you.
you? Because sometimes we remove things that just need to be removed. It might not even be anything that was negative to us, but it just was something that was no longer serving you. But
I think that's the thing with me. I think that's really been a thing with me too. Is I've been able to, if I'm not rocking with you, I ain't fucking with you. Get out my space. And I think everybody knows that about me, and that's why a lot of people don't cross me. I've only had very few people cross me, and these are people who I was their best friend, which is weird. How I'm your best friend, but you cross, like, you doing weird stuff. Right. Knowing that, and certain people, it's like, you're doing things that is unethical and immoral. Like, y'all, if you know me, you know I don't really, it's been minimal times in my life where I did things that were, viewed as unethical. Like, probably not really, maybe never, to be honest with you. So if you're doing things to me where I like look at you like, damn, man, and then y'all be like, y'all, she's judgmental. That's what some of y'all would say. She's judgmental. The judge will judge you. In y'all situations, some of y'all motherfuckers will be going to jail for a long damn time, and you're lucky I ain't told nobody, but you did. So if I cut you off, it's because I've been good at cutting people out. If you do something, I ain't rocking with you. People will hit my phone, blocked, and I don't really block people like that. So if I blocked you, you do not serve me at all. Like, you did some weird stuff, I don't rock with that. And I'll probably never talk to you again. There's some people I've talked to again, thinking that they've changed. But I've been good with not allowing too much, right? Most people, like I said, around me, they don't step out of bounds too crazy. And the ones that have, I just, eliminate it. And it hurt them. I mean, it didn't hurt me at all. It don't hurt me at all. It hurt them because they be coming back with their friends talking about, she wants to be your friend. Child, please. Child, please. Let me tell you what she did. Oh, shit. She didn't tell me that. Right. Now I don't want to talk to you. Right. Yeah. Be your friend. Yeah. And then some of y'all, I'm going to let y'all know, some of y'all will be, after I told y'all, I don't really tell people business. But once you see me not rocking with certain people anymore, I'll be having to tell y'all because it'd be like, damn, y'all gonna be like, what happened? You guys were together all the time. And depending on our relationship, I'll tell y'all what happened. Then when I see y'all still hanging out with these people, that's where the balance comes. Now I gotta remove you because now you're not making good decisions.
Mm-hmm. So when you started to realize what was serving you, did you immediately start distancing yourself, or was it just one of those things where it's like when you realized what had to go, it was you just gotta go in that moment, or did you do it gradually along your journey?
Honestly, I won't even say it's been a long journey. Like, I've always been on a journey. I think we always are on a journey. But as far as me separating myself, it just happened at once. I was hanging out. It's not even I'm trying to break loose from y'all, but I gotta break loose from the people that you hang out with because, like we say, transfer energy. Yeah. And it's like, damn, now this girl pissed you off. Now you telling me how pissed off you are. Like, now we hanging out and you pissed off because she pissed you off. I'm hanging out with you and you mad at your man. So now you talking about your man. Now you got me talking about your man. I'm cool with your man. I ain't even trying to talk about him. It was a situation where I'm like, damn, I'm talking about this. This is my dog. But I'm like, he ain't doing right. I've always been an accountability type of person too, and a lot of people don't like that about me. Cause I be waiting for people to hold me accountable, but I try to walk in a way, I try to walk in a straight path so people can't hold me accountable. But I know they be waiting. Can't wait to hold this bitch accountable. Can't wait. But yeah, it's just and I've always stood on what I said. So anytime I say something, and I watch everything that I say, I don't just be talking because I know that people, especially Hollywood and LA, she said such and such and such. So I be trying to make sure I don't be talking crazy about nobody.
Yeah.
But I do try to, like I said, like once I see myself like making a shift in a way that I don't want to shift, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be like y'all. I'm trying to be an example for y'all. I'm not trying to be like y'all. So once I see that I'm starting to be molded into like what other people are doing, I can't do it. Even in relationships, like my last situation, like, damn, I'm not arguing or not voicing my opinion so that you don't feel no type of way. But you're voicing your opinion. But I'm over here like, yeah, because I don't want to argue. I'm over here like fucking
over there,
Mickey Mouse over here.
Compromising.
Over fucking compromising. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not setting my boundaries. And just like, at some point for me, it was just like, yo. It was like it wasn't like over time, it was like the relationship wasn't serving me. And then like this person, you know, it wasn't even a long relationship to even like have all of this trauma. But it was like becoming trauma. Like I've been in a relationship. I don't even be in relationships to be honest with you. I'll be talking to people and it just be like trauma right off the jump. Boom, trauma. Oh shit.
Captain Saber.
Captain Saber. But it's like damn. Shit, you called my phone 72 times telling me I can't be at the function with my homies for the birthday party? Oh, no.
You big over compromise.
Oh, it's time for you to go home. Is it? Oh, maybe I should go home. But it's like, now it's control. Now it's about control and being controlled. And now it's about losing yourself because you're overcompensating and, you know, allowing yourself to be controlled. So, yeah, for me, it was just realizing, yo, at what point is it you? And it happened back to back. Like, you know, it happened in the same, like, time frame, really. And then I was still friends with, you know, this person. And it was like, man, we friends and it's still drama. Why are we friends? We're supposed to be friends and we still beef. And you still try to beef with me like we together. Like, I don't understand this. But then I'm delusional. But then you become the delusional person. I'm like, oh damn, I'm delusional. I think everything is funny. Like, and I'm not one of those people that like try to trigger you and laugh like, ha ha, bitch, that's funny. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is so funny to me. I'm never like arguing, like yelling. But I'm like, this is so funny to me. You call it me delusional? You're fucking delusional. You're delusional. I don't want to say like, I don't want to go tit for tat with you, and then it become like an explosive type of situation. That's why people have to be self-aware. Once you're self-aware and have worked on self, then you realize it's not worth the energy.
Yeah, de-escalate.
Yeah, so in order to de-escalate, I'll shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But you can have that. You gonna be my ass? You can have that. Let's see if you're actually gonna do it though.
Oh, wait.
Don't wait. I'll wait.
That's funny. Let's tap back in on over compromising because I feel like me personally, I feel like my chain could be a lot shorter already. Like
if you didn't over compromise?
Yes.
So what is making you over compromise? Why are you over compromising?
I think I'm over compromising just because mentally in the area that is gonna affect me the most, I don't feel like I'm there yet. I feel like I still got some more work to put in on that area that's going to really affect me once I stop over compromising. Do that make sense?
It does make sense, but because you did ask me about me, you just gotta say, honestly, fuck that. I'm not doing it.
Okay, so let's take it here. So what happens, because I also feel like a lot of the reason why I'm almost keep grabbing my chain, just referring back, but I also feel like a lot of reasons why my chain isn't shorter yet, because some of the links is like don't want to be removed. Like I'm really like taking them off and
like they keep finagling back in.
Yeah.
But at what point, because that comes back to you putting yourself first. Do you have these conversations with these people?
The conversations are being had. that's the crazy part. The conversations are being had, but then they're looking for other ways to keep the attachment. Did that make sense?
Yeah, but once you detach, I mean, in certain relationships, it's harder, depending on the type of relationships we're talking about, to detach. But at some point, it has to be, this is about me. It's not even about you.
Yeah.
It's not even about you. It's about me. Like when people say, we're not breaking up because it's not you, it's me. Mm-hmm. It's me. It's me.
Really me.
It's me having to be on my journey and you having to respect that I'm on my journey. And maybe while I'm on my journey, you could be on your journey. And then maybe if this, if we at a point where we could reattach, we could reattach. But forceful reattachment is like, to be honest with you, it's not respect. And now it becomes a respect thing. Like, you're not respecting me. And if you're not respecting me, then you definitely at that point have to put yourself first. Like in my situation, like I said, not my situation, but like with my homie. Like, you're gonna be like, some people have told me, you're gonna be my friend.
Am I?
Huh? What the fuck is if I'm not?
Right.
What are you gonna do?
Right.
And like some situations, like I said, I don't like to block people. I like people to have, like, to me, it's delusional that I'm telling you something and you don't want to listen. So now I have to block you. You feel me? And I haven't had to see this person. Maybe your situation is different. You have to see these people. But even when you see them, like, it still has to be a respect my space and my boundaries, because now people have to understand when they don't, it now becomes like an irritation. Like, now you're pissing me off. And you're not trying to piss me off because you want me to be in your space. So why don't you just respect my boundaries for the time being, and maybe we could, reconnect. If not, then not. If so, it is what it is. But people have to learn how to move on.
Yeah, that part. Because it's a lot of things and situations and people that you outgrow, or they no longer serve a purpose in your life.
But you gotta make sure that they know that.
Yeah, facts.
Because you also cannot blame other people for overstepping if you allow them to keep overstepping.
That's true too. Overcompensating.
When you don't have to, when you don't need to, when you don't want to.
No, facts. That's that self journey.
But when people realize that you're on your self journey, most people are like, shit, they on their journey. I ain't fucking with that. I'm trying to hit the club. Trying to be outside.
None of that. Just let me be.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you take any backlash? Like, did you take any backlash from really starting to invest in yourself and bettering yourself for you?
Like I said, some people say, you're going to be my friend. I'm not. Bitch, I will fight you before I'm your friend. What are we talking about here? And then some people, like, there's different type of people in the world. So some people I realize, damn, y'all not invited me to the function. We there?
Okay.
So I see how they moving. I cut them off. They talk to me or whatever. I talk to them back, but it don't be like what it used to be. That's really most of the situations. Like, some people, they see how you, like, they see you on your journey and they're like, man, I'm not on that journey. I'm not on that at all. So then they'll kind of distance themselves, and those are the people that I respect the most. That they realize she gonna come over here. Like, I go to my homie's house. When they start talking, and I know, like, I'm aware. It's a self-awareness. I'm aware when certain people don't want to talk about certain stuff. Yeah. But then sometimes they'll bring up, like, political, shit. And I'm like, I don't even know why y'all trying to go there. Cause y'all know y'all gonna get me started. They be like, sometimes they'll be like, no, I want to hear her. And then I'll, go in and they'll be listening. Like, I respect them the most. Yeah. Because sometimes they want to hear and sometimes they don't. And I know, when they don't want to hear it, and I let them know, I know they don't want to hear it. We're not ready for this today. And, those have been some of the people, even though they're on their journey and they do, things that I don't do, I still rock with them. And, they'll invite me to the party still. And sometimes I'm able to tell them, like, I ain't trying to go to no party. And they respect that. And others, they like, you don't come to my party, you're not my friend. And I don't respect those people. Because I don't want to listen to Sexy Red at your party. And you're going to play her. And y'all going to be dancing and twerking and shaking ass. And I don't really want to be around dancing, twerking, and shaking ass, period. To be honest with you.
Right.
That's just the journey I'm on. I'm outgrown
that situation.
I'm about to say, I'm like, my God, like I'm on the journey with God, and God don't want you shaking your ass. So I'm not gonna be with you shaking your ass unless we, out the country and you happen to be shaking your ass. But if we go to a party, I'm not doing it.
Facts. I feel it. Facts. Okay. Well, I mean, basically, we just laid it all out there for real, and the different type of links that are attached to our chain, because that's really what it is. You gotta really dive in and look at your chain for real. Not the one that's on your neck. We ain't worried about that. Look at your chain. What's attached to you? Who it's made you?
Who's attached to you?
Yes.
Your link, like you said, your link is everything attached to you, including yourself. And there's different, layers to, each link is a layer. So what layer do you have to uncover? What link do you have to separate yourself from? What links do you need to add to become the person that you want to be? Right? The goal should be to want to be the best person that you can be. Like the world is my example. Alright? You look outside, man, it's crazy. Homeless population. You look outside and the gang culture, you look outside and the addictions, and it's like, alright, what part do I play in that in society? And how do I change? How do I be the change that I want to see? I think that's the biggest point for me is, relationship with self and wanting to be that better person.
Yeah. Everything starts within you. That's it.
So
you're either ready for it or you're not. But if you ain't, you better get ready.
Or you're gonna get snipped.
Real quick. Link removed.
Like a circumcision.
You are no longer attached.
Anyway, this was the third episode of Triggering Truths. I hope y'all enjoyed.
Stay blessed.
Peace, gods.